No, so it's 100% true. Ray Meach has a great point. We gotta get Ray on here. He's like a philosopher of the game of basketball.
We know you a busy man, Kobe, so we gonna jump right to it, man.
Now it's about making sure that
I'm sick and sick with it, vision and lift it. Listen, just picture it, spit and deliver it. The time froze, under current, how the grind flows. Wrist flicking, said the bezels, got a mind blown. You know how the drop beat, everything slow. You know how the drop beat, said anything goes. Pull up to the spot, you might see the squad there. Pull up unannounced, then you might see a broad there. It's just seconds remaining, and I got the rock for the win while you're watching the shot clock. It's just seconds remaining, and I got the rock for the win. Thanks for watching the shot clock. The shot clock. You catch the shot clock every Sunday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. What's good, everybody? What's going on, man? G-Day Hoop Scout here. This is the shot clock. Y'all know lately just been riding solo for a minute at least to start the show. Everybody be late to chime in. But it's good, man. It's good. Man, I hope everybody had a really good week this week. First round of district play for basketball is in the books. UIL, speaking of, I want to say for TAPS too. Yeah, I want to say TAPS too because their playoffs starts before the UIL playoffs. And so for TAPS too, and I think SPC is about to get close also to playoffs. We passed that midpoint of January. We are headed towards the end of January, going into February, and so these games, I've been saying it for about 3 weeks now, are about to get really interesting. It's going to be some really good basketball games going on. You're going to see some teams who are fighting for that playoff spot, got to finish top 4 in the district. So for anybody who is new or may not know how the UIL works, in the UIL, you have to finish in the top 4 in your district. I have people from Illinois who'll be watching. We do conferences back home in Illinois, and everybody gets to go to the playoffs from the conference, no matter how bad the record is. Here, instead of conference, they do district, which is pretty much the same thing as a conference. But they do districts, but only the top 4 teams from the district. Your district wins and losses, not your overall wins and losses, but your district wins and losses hold more weight than your overall wins and losses as far as seeding. Back in Illinois, overall wins and losses more so than what you did in conference play. But here is different down here in Texas. Interesting. What's going on, Mr. Aviles? Everybody else who was watching, I truly do appreciate y'all for tuning in to the Shot Clock 30. Make sure that y'all share that show for me. If you on Facebook side, share it to your basketball groups. If you on the YouTube side, you can copy the link and share it with somebody. Or if you are watching on Twitter, what's going on, Coach Ayers? If you are watching it on Twitter, if y'all want y'all comments to be able to pop up on the screen and for us to engage in the comments, I know I said this early in season 3 of the Shot Clock, but Twitter still, them and Periscope, they are not contracted together like they once was, and so Twitter's trying to go a different route. Elon Musk is involved, all that as well. But so now on the Twitter side, you can watch the show, you can comment, but I don't get to see your comments until I go rewatch the show on Twitter. So when I go rewatch the show on Twitter, I get to see people's comments. But if you're on that Twitter, Please make sure that you hop over on the Facebook, Ball So Hard Scouting Service, or you can find us on YouTube at Ball So Hard TV. So y'all can hop in and chime in on anything that we talk about, any subjects that we may hit on as well, man. Once again, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure y'all do that for me. What's going on, Coach Ken Dean? Man, hey, Coach Ken Dean's son finally dunked. Eh, Shout out to you, Eric. Um, Eric Woods got his dunk in. He went off of 2 feet. I wish he would have went up off of 1 foot. It would have made it look just a little bit more nastier. But we're gonna get him there. But Coach, hey, Eric dunked the ball, but Coach Candine was more excited than my guy Eric. And I love that aspect. When parents are able to celebrate with their kids. And I really mean that as far as the parents who are hard on their kids as well. So he's not just one of them parents who it's the coach. He's not a coach's fault parent. And so those are my favorite type of parents where they're not blaming the coaches for things, but they're getting on their kids, or their prospects or their student athletes about things and how they can get better and making sure that they are able to get in the gym, put in the work to get better. Yeah, Ken definitely got to be top 10. Ken may be in the top 10 plays, man. Coach Ken Dean, man. Definitely. Hey, that was I was excited that Eric got the dunk, but I seen Coach Ken Dean run down the side. I'm like, oh, hey. I said that may be the top 10 play right there. What's going on to my guy? Aaron, man. Aaron, I hold on. I'm finna shoot you a message, Aaron. I really want you to hop on. I really want you to hop on. I have a question for you, Aaron. Man, yeah. I seen you, Coach Kendine. Almost ran out the door. I have a question for you, Aaron. I'm about to see if I can find if maybe you have sent me your email before. I don't want to hold you hostage or hold you long, Coach Aaron, but just real quick, what's going on, Coach Woods? Yeah, Coach Kendine almost ran out the door after Eric got that dunk, man. Really was happy for him. What's going on, Mr. Little? I say Mr. Little as I stepped into the Fur versus Wheatley game Saturday morning, 10 o'clock. That game was really good. That game went into overtime. Every time Fur would go up, Wheatley would walk that thing back down, make it very competitive game. Yeah, Mr. Little, yeah. Will make it very competitive despite that aspect of it as well. But they will make it very competitive. That late fourth quarter push was crazy. For Wheatley, I'm talking about they had a lot of possessions where they would get 4 or 5 offensive rebounds before giving up a defensive rebound. And that's really honestly that fight right there on the offensive glass is what allowed them to get they were hungry, and you could tell because when overtime hit, Fur came out 6 straight buckets real quick, and Wheatley looked just a little dead in that overtime. But that was a really good game. Really great battle. It was good to see those guys go at it. Excited about the Tuesday matchup. We'll definitely be in the building for that game as well. But we're going to get to that a little bit later on as far as my top games of the week. Of my top games of the week. I think I just lost train of thought. But yeah, playoff push is coming up. Rotations I've already seen because after I left that game, 10 o'clock, went over and caught Side Creek Stratford game. That game was really well at first. That game was really well also. I thought Side Creek was going to run away with it. But then when Corey Hadnot had got hurt, like kind of early mid-ish third quarter, and he was out almost to the end of the third quarter. Being out that long, he almost Stratford was able to start walking that thing down. And even then, when he came into the fourth quarter, you could see him, hobbling, but he still was giving it his all. And it was a really good, hard fought game. Side Creek ended up winning the game as well. And then there was some other games that took place on Saturday. Very highly competitive basketball. Everybody's trying to fight to get into the playoffs. And so really good atmospheres. Fans are starting to pack the gyms out just a little bit more. So that's always fun to see. It's always good to be in that atmosphere where it's deafening, where you can't really hear what's going on because everybody's screaming something different and at the top of their lungs. Really interesting. My peoples is messing with me, as I do the show. But really good games on deck. We got some top games of the week. I know y'all watching the 49ers Cowboys game as well, so definitely don't want to hold y'all long today. Really wanted trying to wait for my co-host Rob C in the gym because I know he gets excited about our bracketology parts of the show as well as the playoff push parts of the show as well. So I'm trying to hang on to let him come on. But we're gonna see how long we're gonna wait around. But yeah, everybody's fighting for playoffs, and so you're gonna see competition look just a little bit differently than you did in the first half of district play, and even kind of early on in the season when teams were getting a feel for themselves in the non-district matchups. With that being said, though, I do want to challenge some coaches to start playing a little bit tougher competition in some of their non-district matchups, because we're going to see a lot of teams who have 20 plus wins or teams who will finish over 500 even who aren't necessarily in a super tough district, that they're still going to finish over even 600, even over 600% winning, but they're going to miss the playoffs. And so it's important to schedule. You got to get at least 3 or 4 really tough non-district games in. Let me send my guy Aaron this invite real quick. But you got to get some tough non-district games in so that should come up. Yep, there you go. Hold on, y'all. Trying to send off something real quick. All right, boom, there it's sent. Okay, but yeah, so it's important. I apologize for the delay on my end. Was trying to send out an email real quick, but it's important to schedule tough non-district games. So when those tough district games come about, you're able to weather the storm. You're able to know how it is to grind it out to get those wins, or even grind it out to still be competitive within the game and only lose maybe by 1 or 2 points. So then the second portion of district and that second round of district, you will be able to finish much stronger, having played tougher teams non-district than some tough teams, your tough district opponents. Then the second round, be able to finish a little stronger, and maybe some of those 1 to 2 point losses now they turn into wins. You secure you a playoff spot versus you coming into district 18 and 5 or 18 and 6, 18 and 2, and then you going 1 and 6, 1 and 5, 2 and 5 in the first half of district, on the outside looking in, and you really got a dogfight on your heels to be able to get back into that playoff push because you got to finish top 4, and now you're sitting in 6th, 7th, or 8th place in your district from the first half of district. Yes, we have seen teams go from being 6th to getting in, or even teams, finishing 6th and maybe tying for a playing game for that 4th spot. But those are hard. It's hard to really make that run when you have a lot of good teams who are already sitting in the top half of your district, and so you got to be able to pop two of them boys to make those type of runs. But you're not non-district. Those non-district games got to schedule a couple of tough games where hey, we might not win, but this is going to make us better in the long haul. And you never know. Shoot, you may win. And it may be a really good confidence booster that propels your team in a whole different direction, just even starting district as well. I'm just going to throw a couple of comments up here real quick. Now, conference try to schedule all kinds of teams. Yes, you want to see every look because when you get into the playoffs, you want to kind of be familiar with what teams are going to do, how things are going to look. Also, district games are always harder than non-district games because there's a lot of familiarity as far as coaching staff. So if that core of coaches have been coaching against each other for at least a good 4 years, they know their coaching style, they know their techniques, they know how to pick each other apart. It's really up to the players to be willing to buy into what coach is telling them, and to sit and really study and watch film, break it down, become a true student of the game. Those things are very important. He says, G-Day, I think that it is what propelled us in our close district games. My guys know how to win close games because of our Yes, when you have those Coach Woods right here, who is one of the top coaches as far as having a team that is not filled or with any Division 1 players as of right now, as of today. You never know what the future holds for any of these kids. But just I'm talking about on paper, just looking on paper, a lot of people already had them penciled, way down at the bottom, or coming in 4th, or not even making the playoffs. And he's doing a great job. Also, Coach Watson on South Houston, another coach with a bunch of group of kids who don't have those collegiate looks, doing a good job getting wins. And so there are coaches out there who have those non-top kids, uh, not ranked, none of that all that stuff, but they're still out there competing. So it is very, very important. They're talking about the refereeing. He says, bro, you should have saw it. 36 fouls in the second half. 4 anemic kids fouled out. That's tough. That's tough. That's tough. That is real tough. Coach Will said we lost 6 games, 4 by 4 points or less, all preseason games. It's those non-district tough games are games where you feel like we really shouldn't be playing this team. Those are the games that's going to make you better. It's going to help out. Um, those games aren't a make or break game. Those games are going to help regardless of the outcome. The close, especially if it's a close lost game, is going to start building character and confidence within your kids, because now you're telling them, see, these are the things that I've been trying to teach you. These are the things that I've been talking about. These are the things that I've been trying to drill into you. Y'all see that it's working because we're competing with teams that nobody thought we had any business competing with. And so then they start buying in more and more and more. They start buying in, they start trusting the coach, they start trusting the system. And then next thing you know, you're finishing top 2 easily in your district, heading into the playoffs, ready to make that run towards the UIL state championship, because that is everybody's goal. Yeah, I know. Hey man, I rewatched that Hyde Park and Kenwood game or Simeon game. I mean, it was a lot of fouls called in that game. It was a lot of kids from both ends who fouled out, as well as the Simeon versus Kenwood game. Um, was a lot of fouls in that game as well. Hey, these kids. I'm not saying that they don't be fouling, but these kids be hacking. They do. Um, and I know it's really honestly a foul on every single possession. And if the referee would call a foul every single possession, you know how long the game would take. And so, yes, there are a lot of calls that don't get called because it's kind of ticky. And then you have those ticky tack fouls who do get called, and then you're kind of like, oh, come on, ref, you just let that go like 2 minutes ago. Um, but yeah, that's always tough when you have four kids from one team who foul out a game, 36 total fouls in the second half. Y'all should have more than four kids that fouled out. If y'all had 36 in just the second half alone, um, that's crazy. Five fouls a kid, like that's 20 right there alone for them four kids. That's tough. Um, just doing math. Coach Wood said a lot of coaches care about the wins and losses of their record of their whole career. Um, yeah, but if you have the wins and losses and never even made it to like state or past the first round of the playoffs, because every year you get 25 wins, but then you can't win a playoff game, you know what does that truly say? Um, I was listening to sports talk on YouTube. It's like a little show. People uh they're starting to get a lot of buzz. It's called Sports Talk, and they was talking about the young quarterback from the Chargers, talking about how he's really good in the regular season, blah blah blah, but then he gets to the playoffs and he chokes. And so, do you measure his greatness so far? It's still early in his career. It's his first year even going to the playoffs anyway. But it made for interesting content and context. Um, you're measured by your playoff wins and then state championship appearances and state championship wins. That's what you're measured by. And so, yes, it's good you have 500, 600 career wins, but if that 500, 600 career wins, you're 0-30 in the playoffs, like, I don't know. Man, don't come in here all fuzzy screen smiling, man.
Yes, sir, baby. I'm back. I am back, baby. Yeah, and for y'all that's wondering, I still got it on. You feel me? I still wear it. Yes, sir. What's going
But
on,
yeah,
everybody? Y'all miss
oh
me?
nothing, man. We just talking basketball,
Oh,
talking
I
high
was
school.
listening, man. I was listening. I
I
heard
know
your
you listening
analogy
to the
about.
great, yeah, listen to the greatness,
Oh, I don't
man.
know about. I I don't know about all that. I heard you talking though, Jeff. I don't know about great.
Yeah,
You feel
but the great, I'm talking about the greatness of me. You just listening to me.
me? Everybody, my mother once told me if you have nothing nice to say, you don't say anything at all. Okay.
Messed up, man. I would say you was great. See how he does me, America, man. It's a shame. Supposed to be my brother. It be your own people, man. Um, but nah, man. Shoot. Ah,
That's a good one, Woods. Yeah, I
hey, I
love
had to
it.
throw
Keep
that
them
on the
coming.
screen. That was good.
Keep
That
them
was funny.
coming. You feel me? I love it.
That was funny. No, I kind of recap. You was watching. You was listening. Whatever.
For my
Um.
brother Ant, man. This for Ant. Ant, this for you.
Oh Lord, that's crazy. Anyway, as I was saying, yes, it's cool if you have 500 wins in the regular season, but then you're 0-30 in the playoffs. No, he just because Ant ain't on the show right now, so he eating. He trying to be.
No. You didn't read his comments. He said, "Are you getting up for the game tomorrow, Monday Night Football?" He talking about what? Yeah, Woods, you real? You must be at D King house right now, Woods. You real? Yeah. Okay, Woods. I thought we was cool, brother. Okay.
Oh man.
No, but yeah, you're right though. It to get 600 wins and you never been to the regional finals or like the state championship or got close, like I don't know about that one. I don't know. You gotta test your team at some point though. I said this I think I said this on the first season when we started out that controversy though. But you wanna see as many. It's like a fight. Like training for a fight, you don't want to just bring in southpaws. You want to have southpaws, unorthodox, right-hand people that defensively box, people that off. You want to see everything for you get in the ring, and you like, damn, they hit me with a left-hand jab. I ain't see that all training session. Yeah, because you only train with right-hand people. So, you know what I'm saying? Like if you only play people that pitch, so you only play teams that slow down. Like you said, if you've been coaching in a district for 5 years, you should know the ebbs and flows of that district. So you should know, like, oh, these people play fast. I need to see this because we not gonna see this till we maybe get playoffs because we're gonna go 2 months with a whole district play in the 40s and the 50s and vice versa. But I've seen a lot of more teams going out. I will say this: a lot of teams this year went out and challenged themselves. Because I specifically combed through some teams' schedules and was like, oh, I didn't know they played Doom. Oh, I didn't know they played Doom. And, I don't want to give Woods too much praise, but he is a good example of, like, taking a team nobody thought was, going to be where they are right now outside of that high tower locker room and they fans and diverse styles of teams like a Langham, like a Dawson, you know what I'm saying, going to the McDonald's turn. So when you get in district, you don't just feel overwhelmed. Oh, there goes such and such. Well, I didn't play somebody ranked every time, or I didn't play these people. When this person is like another game or whatever. So, yeah. Man, I'm glad to be back, man. I know what today is, man. Woo-hoo.
Man, what's today, Rod, man?
Yes, sir. Hey, real quick, shout out to Klein Kane, Grace Christian, and Shadow Creek, man, for y'all incredible hospitality, man. I gotta say that. Oh, it's somebody I'm missing. It was Klein Kane. I went to Shadow Creek. What game I went to on Friday? Dang, I be going to so many games, I be forgetting.
Hightower. Hightower.
G-Day, what game? Hey, man, help me out, man.
I already said it. Hightower.
I ain't go to Hightower on Friday.
I mean, Marshall tripping.
Yes, Marshall. I'm sorry. That was Coach Courtney and Coach Armand. Yeah, but I'm saying that was Coach Courtney 700 win. But yeah, Coach
got a
Armand,
700 win.
Thank y'all for all y'all incredible hospitality, man. I can't, I just want to thank y'all because y'all don't have to do this. So I publicly want to say thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We appreciate y'all. What's going on, Miss Smith, man? Happy Sunday. A happy Sunday fun day to you as well. But yeah, man, today is Bracketology UIL Shot Clock 30 edition. So we finna get it spicy in here in a minute. But before we do that, I do want to put the top 5 plays of the week up. And after we do top 5 plays, we're going to get into the top games of the week. Then after top games of the week, we'll get into the Bracketology Shot Clock 30 UIL edition. Top 5 plays. Coach Dean finna run out the door. Hey man, he got his dunk back, man. Number one player of the week, Cam Patterson. Um,
Ball,
got his lick
ball on
back on the dunk back,
Oh
man.
yeah, man.
What happened? Y'all seen Coach Ken Dean trying to run out the game?
Now I was reading
man.
Coach Woods out. Yeah,
Oh
Coach
yeah,
Dean
those
was about
different
to run
styles
out
of
the
plays.
game.
Yes, that's big. It's beneficial to your team when you get to see different sets, different styles. Because that's the type of thing. Those are the type of things that you run into in the playoffs. With the unfamiliarity of certain teams. You could watch film of a team all day, but when you play against that team and watch film of that team, that's something totally different. That's just some little advice for you players out there. You can watch the film of an opponent, but if you're watching the film and you play that opponent, it's just a little bit different. Dang, Rob setting off the alarm. That must be a good sandwich, man. Got you setting off the alarm, man.
Nah, I leaned on my keys, man.
Top games of the week. Hitting them up on Tuesday.
Ooh.
Tuesday has a doubleheader that I will be at Barnett Fieldhouse. 6 o'clock, Wheatley versus Booker T. And then at 7:30, you have Fur versus Yates. We get into these top games on this Tuesday, January 24th. You have these are 4A, number 10, Wheatley versus number 2, Booker T. Washington. That should be a really good game. That's a 4A matchup. Going to a 5A matchup. You got Barbers Hill versus Port Arthur Memorial. Last time in the first round of district, that was a very low scoring game. This game is going to be really competitive as both teams is trying to get that district championship and lock in that first spot in district. So this game is going to be, I think this game is going to be really chippy. It's going to be really exciting. It's going to be a really fun game. And then you have Texas City versus Manville. When y'all see the district standings later, they sit at 1 and 2 right now in district. Texas City won that matchup the first time round. So Manville will be playing at home and looking to get back in that game. Rob, anything on these games as you drink your beverage?
You say what now? I ain't hear you.
Hey man, where your headphones, man? Anything on the game, man? You got any input on these games, Roberts?
He won. I went to Booker T and Wheatley the first time. It was a good game, very, very competitive and pivotal in the playoff race. I'm gonna try to start the Memorial game. Where is the game at? Port Arthur Memorial.
Yeah, at Port Arthur Memorial. All right, Roberts froze up, man.
Computer
Continue on Tuesday, January 24th. You got Atascocita versus Beaumont United at United. You have Tomball Memorial versus Collins. Collins sits on top of their district right now. And I spoke about it a little earlier. You have Yates versus Fur. So 2 6A matchups in the Atascocita versus United. Tomball Memorial versus Collins. And then a 4A matchup in Yates versus Fur. Like I said, really excited to watch this Yates and Fur game, as well as the Booker T versus Wheatley game. It's going to be all at Barnett. I'll be in the building for the double header. Rob, you unfroze? You good? All right, Rob still froze up.
I don't know, bro.
We're going to move on to Wednesday's games. Top 3 games on Wednesday. You got Clements, who's fighting to get into the playoffs right now on the outside looking in. They go and they take on Travis. That should be a really interesting game. Then you have Clear Falls going to Dickinson. And then you have Pasadena versus Deer Park. Deer Park won the first time around in district. This is the second time around for everybody as far as district matchups go. And right now, Pasadena's on the outside looking in as they took a tough one to the chin this Friday. Going on this past Friday, going on to this Friday games. Private school action going on with Westbury Christian versus St. Francis Episcopal at 6 p.m. over at St. Francis Episcopal. Then good 6A matchup. You got the Woodlands versus College Park. That's a rivalry game. Rivalry games are always heated. So that should be a really good game. Then you have Katy Jordan traveling to take on Seven Lakes at home. Continuing on Friday, Barbers Hill trying to get that get back lick over Goose Creek Memorial. Goose Creek beat them the first time around. They're getting ready to play their second round of district matchups. That game should be really interesting, and it's at Goose Creek. So maybe a little home court advantage going on in that game. Like I said, it should be really interesting. It should be a good game. Then you go down to some 4A action. Hardin Jefferson versus Hampshire Fournette. These two teams are going to get at it. And then sticking with 4A, you got Yates versus Booker T on Friday as well at 8:30 p.m. I didn't get around to making the Saturday edit. That's on me. So that's one turnover according to Mr. Yates. I don't know if he's watching it because I ain't been in the comment section. About to hop over there now. Mr. Yates be counting my turnover. So that's one turnover a week. Yeah, Rob be all on ABC 13, man. And look, he freezing up. Freezing up on me, man. Rob, you may want to there you, okay, you moving around a little bit. There you go. You good?
Am I back? Nope.
Yeah, I see you, man. Yeah, your head bobbling. You all right?
Oh, Barbers Hill do got a big week, Mr. Lou.
They do. Barbers Hill has a big week. Port Arthur Memorial and Goose Creek Memorial should be really interesting week for them. See if Bryce Smith and company can get it done. And I'm kicking Rob off the show for right now because Rob is his Wi-Fi ain't working right, man. I don't know what's going on with my brother.
Hello?
Yeah, why you saying hello like you on the phone, man? All right. You ready for this, Rob, man?
Man, want to hear me. You know what I'm saying? It's people that
you ready
it's people that
you ready for
specifically
this?
watch the show to see me.
Man.
Oh, Mr. Deuce.
See, you froze, Rob. Dang, it's messed up, man. I ain't gonna leave you. I ain't gonna leave you hanging on the screen like that, my brother. We gonna get into this playoff push bracketology. Uh, shot clock 30
Hey
UIL
man,
way, man.
it's
We're gonna do 5A, 6A. What you say, Rob? Rob, go out and come back in, man.
the ghost of Anthony and D King that's making my Wi-Fi mess up.
All right, playoff push. We're gonna do 5A and 6A today. We'll include 4A next week. This is all a part of the shot clock 30s bracketology. We're gonna hit them with UIL 5A, UIL 6A. So starting off
He
5A,
just pissed Mr.
District
Little off.
District 17. Who, me? No, man. Cause then everybody's not done with their first half of districts for 4A. Only HISD is, but everybody else isn't. Rob, I got this, man. So
Oh,
this
okay.
everybody done with
Okay.
first half, 5A, 6A, not in 4A. Everybody's not. So I don't wanna last week I kind of slighted some teams, so I want to make sure this time we do it all. If we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it right. 5A, 17, District 17. First four in from the first round of district play. You got Port Arthur Memorial, 6-1 in district, Barbers Hill, 6-1 in district, Goose Creek Memorial, 6-1 in district. Right now you have a three-way tie for first place. Barbers Hill only loss came from Goose Creek Memorial. Port Arthur Memorial's only loss came from Barbers Hill, and then Goose Creek's only loss came from Port Arthur Memorial. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this all shakes up. Second half of district play. Port Neches Grove right now owns a tiebreaker over Baytown Sterling in the fourth spot. That's Port Neches Grove. The PNG GCM is Goose Creek Memorial. Their names is very long and it wouldn't fit on the screen. So that's why they are abbreviated like that. Port Neches got that fourth spot right now. Baytown Sterling and Port Neches battled it out. We can't forget about Crosby. I mentioned this earlier. Teams who always in that there's always a team who's sitting in sixth in the first half of district who finds their way into the playoffs some way, somehow. Could it be Crosby? Could be. We don't know. It's going to be really interesting. Rob, any takes?
We're gonna find out a lot about this district this week. Um, that's about it. Um, Port Nature's Grove in at the moment.
Yeah, with Ian. I got Ian, man.
In.
Ian, hold on, man. We got to do a check real quick. We got Rob. We got, is this the real Rob C or is this the fake Rob C? Dang, Rob done got back for us. Rob done. You good? You done switched devices? You good? You on mute, my brother. You got to unmute your mic. You have to there you go. You all right? You good? You delayed? Hey, you still delay. We can't. Hey, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. We can't hear you. This boy. No, we cannot hear you. Dang, man. We can't hear you, my brother. All right. 5A, District 18. I don't know what's going on with Rob's over there. He said it's the charge. When he get back, I finally booted him fully out. When he get back on, I'm gonna throw that up there, Mr. Dudes, man. It's the Chargers. That's the reason why. That's the reason why it ain't working right. All right. 5A, District 18. District 17 plays District 18 in the first round of the playoffs. Keep that in mind. All right. You have Texas City sitting in first place. Manville, second place. Friendswood, Galveston Ball, and Santa Fe all are 3-3 right now at that third, fourth, and fifth spot. It's going to get really interesting to see how this race shapes up with them all battling for possibly that third and fourth spot, as well as LaPorte maybe playing upset to a couple of these teams and finding a way to get in. Angleton had a really, really strong. All right, let's see. Rob punched in. Rob, you good?
You tell me, am I good? Can y'all hear?
Hey, we hear you. We can finally hear you, my brother.
Jesus Christ, man.
We can finally hear you. All right, so 5A. I just got finished talking about it. You got anything about 5A, man? What's going on, Mr. Jordan, as well? Mr. Dude said this is why your internet ain't working. It's the Chargers.
Blocking you tonight, Mr. Dudes. I told you one more time, I'm blocking you tonight. I haven't seen them. I'm surprised that Angleton is in last place.
Yes, me too.
They normally in the forefront of this district, in the
Well,
playoffs.
this is also side note. This is their first year in this group of district. Normally, they played in the Fort Bend Marshall. It was them, Marshall, Hightower. So they was always Fulshire, Foster. They was in that district for a while.
Right,
They
right.
they moved over to this district, so that could possibly have something to do with it. But also, I just felt with seeing them early on that how they were rolling, that they wouldn't be sitting at the bottom as of right now in the first half of district. But yeah, this district's gonna get really interesting with Santa Fe, Galveston Ball, and Friendswood all with that 3-3 mark. Moving on, 5A-19. This is the HISD district with Galena Park added to it. The new move into the district. You got Madison undefeated in the district, sitting in first place. You got Houston Sterling second place, Sharpstown third, Milby fourth, with Waltrip sitting in the fifth spot. Rob, what you got?
This district going. I mean, we had I think we had Milby second. So
In our
Sterling,
preseason pick.
yeah, Sterling has put on a phenomenal performance this year. But Madison is the class of this district, have been for a while. It's gonna be what can they, to me, a question I always have is how far can they go in the playoffs? So that's always my question with them.
Yeah, Mr. Little said he feels that it's gonna stay the same. Madison Sterling, Sharpstown, Milby. He
Yeah,
feels those are the
because
four that gets in.
Milby already beat Waltrip on the second game the
Yeah,
second half of their district, they beat Wall. So they split with Wall Trip already.
yeah. Them and Waltrip split. Yeah,
And then Noel, a lot of a name that a lot of people don't know from 5A, Noel Duplashane
yeah.
is
Sharpstown.
really leading that Sharpstown team. So yeah.
District 19 from 5A plays District 20 from 5A in the first round of the playoffs. 25A. This is Coach Wood's old stomping grounds. Um, you have Fort Bend Marshall undefeated, sitting in first place. You have Fulshire, which we just seen the Marshall versus Fulshire game, who's in second place in that district, followed by Foster, and then Kempner, and then you have Rosenberg Terry at 3-4, Fort Bend Willow Ridge at 3-5. You have the new school in Randall, 1-6, and Lamar consolidated 0-7 in district play. Rob, any takes on District 20 from 5A?
They definitely got a regional contender in this district. Fulshire is it's gonna be tough in the playoffs. But I think this stay the same. I think this four stay the same.
Yeah, Fulshire, very young group. So it's going to be interesting to follow them over the coming years to see how things shape up for the Chargers. Ironic, Rob. They're called the Chargers.
Ironically, ain't it?
Final 5A district, Region 3, with Greater Houston teams, District 21, of 5A. You have A&M Consolidated and Rudder both sitting in first place. A&M Consolidated owns the tiebreaker over Rudder because they beat Rudder in the first half of district. And A&M Consolidated lost, came to Montgomery, which was a shocker that Montgomery got that win over them. But A&M Consolidated, number one, Rudder is at number 2 right now. Magnolia West, who was having a season that no one expected them to have, they are at number 3 right now in district. And then you have College Station at number 4 in district. Sitting right outside Lake Creek and Montgomery. I think everybody had Lake Creek picked preseason to finish top 4. Even on TABC website, I think Lake Creek was also picked to finish top 4 in district. I think Lake Creek still finds a way to get into district. It'll be interesting to see if Magnolia West can continue with their winning ways. They just dropped 2 games in a row though, so they was 5-0, but then they just dropped 2 games this week, Tuesday and Friday. So it's going to be interesting to see if they get back on the winning ways of things, or if some of these other teams start to take control in the second half of district. Rob, what you got?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Lake Creek got too much talent not to make the playoffs. I think Lake Creek gonna find a way to get in. And again, we didn't talk about this, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see if Magnolia West can pick up some of those wins that they picked up in the first half of way to make it in.
All right. So we just wrapped up with 5A. About to jump into 6A. You ready?
Yeah.
Region 2. All right. We hit with Region 2 first. 6A, 13, Region 2. You got Grand Oaks, Woodlands, College Park, Conroe. All 4 are 8-2 right now.
Mm-hmm.
I know you wondering, and the people wondering, how is this possible? So, interesting thing in District 13 is they don't do it, and I talked about this last week, in the traditional format that everybody else does as far as the first and the second round of district. For instance, Grand Oaks and Conroe haven't even played each other once yet.
Nope.
And so they're going to play each other kind of almost a back-to-back situation. Um, they they play them this week and then try and play them next week. So, and it's a lot of teams that haven't played each other, haven't
Me
played another opponent yet for the first time either in this
and like
district.
Grand Oaks and Willis done played 2 times already.
Yes, and they split.
They split both of their games because Grand Oaks just won yesterday.
Right, and Grand Oaks beat College Park both times. So College Park's both
Yes.
losses came from Grand Oaks, and then College Park plays the Woodlands this week as well. And so if College Park beats the Woodlands, then the Woodlands have 2 losses to College Park. So then the College Park will be above the Woodlands, but Grand Oaks will be above College Park because Grand Oaks beat College Park twice. And so Grand Oaks haven't met Conroe yet. Um, the Woodlands haven't played Conroe yet either. Or no, they played them one. That was one of their other losses. They did. They played them this past Friday. I do believe. So, but this district's gonna be really interesting. I really do like the fight that Willis put in, but as of right now, I just think that these 4 stay. I don't know what the final order is gonna be. So it's gonna be interesting. But as of right now, uh, Grand Oaks is sitting atop of the district. Um, as of right now. Rob, you have anything else?
It seemed like you've been reading my notes. I just wanted to give a shout
Man,
out to Coach Clark over at Willis. Even if they don't make the playoffs, I feel like he had a way better season than a lot of us predicted.
yeah,
They
big
did,
turnaround for them.
huh?
No, go ahead, man. I just was chiming in. Big turnaround for them.
Yeah. They did come to the preseason jam. And we got to see them early. But I don't know if anybody could predict them to be fighting like they were fighting right now in this district. With that being said, though, I think this first 4 that we got gonna stay the same though.
Yeah, and Willis is young as well too. So
They are very young.
um, they got some young pieces over there. So they're another team who's going to be interesting to watch over these next couple of years. Moving on, 14, 6A. You got MacArthur sitting at number 1. I don't think nobody expected for MacArthur to be sitting at number 1 in the district. Then you have Davis at number 2, Nimitz at number 3, Westfield at number 4, because Westfield beat Eisenhower in the first half of district play. And then Eisenhower sitting at number 5, and then Spring at number 6. This thing is going to get interesting.
Man, this district been beating up on each other the whole year, man.
Yeah, and they got to do another round. So we know a couple of those Nimitz loss were really close games. So it's going to be interesting to see if do they take do they take that as motivation to like, man, shouldn't even have been close. And then other teams are gonna be like, man, it shouldn't have been close. Hey, all I can say is this district is gonna be fun to watch how all this plays out.
Yes, it is.
All this plays out, man.
Mr. Little say he think Eisenhower gonna get in. Over who, Mr. Little? Over who? Who don't make it?
Everybody off. Who you taking? I don't honestly. I don't even know. I just want to watch how this plays out because Spring could sneak in here.
But
Eisenhower could
see, look,
here.
G-Day, this goes back to what you were saying, though. Look at MacArthur's overall record and look at their district record. But they played some tough teams.
They did play some tough teams in our district. Yes,
like they even went to Rick Nelson event, and I know they also played Side Creek at the Bridgeland round robin thing too.
Yeah,
so
they played some games.
Yeah,
as well as Davis. Davis has had some tough games, tough non-district games as well. Nimitz has had some tough non-district games. Westfield has had some tough non-district games. Spring has had a couple of tough non-district games as well. And so these coaches aren't afraid to schedule the hard games because they know that it's going to be a fight as it is right now. to get into the playoffs, and so we need that experience. And that's why I
Also,
said it's going to be interesting because
also,
it hasn't been a
go
lot of
ahead.
blowouts in this district though.
Have not.
It hasn't been a lot of
Also, this
blowouts. Go
district play
ahead.
a lot of games too, though. No, this district plays a lot of non-district games too. Like they don't like some ISDs you see they got like 8, 10, 12 games, maybe 18 games. These people got 24, 28. You know what I'm saying? They playing these 27 games. Like they ain't scared to play. They are playing. I like that about this district. They go play.
Yeah. So Mr. Little saying Eisenhower gets in over Westfield.
Hey, that was a good game. I went to that first game. That was a double overtime game too.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, man, there hasn't been no blowouts. No big blowouts between these 6 teams. So this is gonna get really interesting to see how all this plays out over the next few weeks. I do have a question real quick, Coach Dean. When y'all play Davis this Saturday, will that game be at the Campbell Center, or are you guys hosting it at at your at your home court? I do want to know that.
Because the first game was supposed to be at the Campbell Center, but then it
It
ended up
was,
being
but it ended
at
up being at Davis. Yes. So I don't know if they're gonna do the same. So that's why I asked. Playoff push. We're still in Region 2, still in 6A, District 15. Klein Collins sitting in first place in district, followed by Klein Oak, another team that I don't think anybody expected them to be where they are right now as far as district overall. But that goes back to what we've been saying a little bit earlier. They've played a couple of tough non-district games though as well. Tomball Memorial sitting in third, and Klein is sitting in fourth over Klein Kane. Klein just beat Klein Kane on Saturday. So they're just a game up on them. And so it's gonna get interesting as all these teams have to cycle right back through each other once again. Man, Rob, anything on this district?
um Klein Collins and Klein Oak been surprised, like probably the most surprising. Klein Oak the most surprising team definitely in this district. Um I'm gonna just say this. I know they lost to Klein Forest yesterday. You don't want to play Tomball Memorial in the first round. They play tough, physical, hard. Like you're gonna need several ice baths after playing them. I'm not sure who get the fourth spot. I know Klein got the tiebreaker, so I don't know. Hopefully that come down to the end of the season, so that'll be
Well,
Klein
that
versus.
and that's crazy because it will they played the last game of the
Yeah, so they
first
will play
round
the
of
last
district,
game.
so they will play the last game in the second round of district as well. So this can get very interesting
Yeah,
if they both are tied, because then you have a play-in game.
because
So
they played Tomball Memorial earlier this week on Wednesday,
yeah,
and
but
then
I'm just
played
saying,
Klein.
for instance, let's say Klein and Klein came both in with the same record district like they have right now. Um, so let's say they both end up 8-6, but this time Klein Kane beats Klein, so they split a game, and they both have the same records, and they play the very last game of district. Then they're gonna have to turn around and play a playing game against one another again, just to go to the playoffs. Interesting, man. The final district in Region 2 of 6A of Greater Houston teams, you have District 16. This is the Cy-Fair district. You have Langham Creek, who just beat Cy Falls on this past Friday, and then 6-1 in district. Cy Falls 6-1 in district. Cy Springs 5-2 in district. Cy Woods, right as of today, if this was ending today, would have the fourth spot in district. Now, this can get really crazy because I feel that 4 through 7 in this district are all going to be fighting for number 4.
Yeah, that's true. And I can see any. I've seen 1, 2, 3. I've seen all these teams. Yeah, I've seen this whole district. So yeah, that's possible. Yeah, 4 through 7, anybody can get their 4th spot.
Yeah, yeah. For side, I would say Side Ranch biggest benefit will be Jalen Bernard being back. Now that he should be fully back into rotation.
Mm-hmm.
That will add another interesting dynamic for the Mustangs to make that playoff push. But these teams are going to be beating up on each other 4 through 7. I feel. Side Springs is Langham Creek's only loss, and then Side Falls' only loss is Langham Creek, and so Langham Creek plays Side Springs this Saturday at Langham Creek. If Langham Creek gets that win, and then they meet up with Side Falls for the very last game of district, that's another setup for a district championship game on the very last game of district play. Like I said, these things is about to get really interesting. This is about to be really fun. Yeah, this is region. This is just region 2. We're about to get into region 3 right now, starting with District 17 for 6A. You got Side Creek sitting at number 1, Spring Branch Memorials at number 2, Stratford's at number 3, and Jersey Village is at number 4. I don't think nobody was expecting Jersey Village to be sitting in the 4th spot. I think we all picked in our preseason picks Side Creek, Memorial, Stratford, and Side Fair. Some even had Spring Woods.
Yeah, I had Springwood
making it in as well. So really interesting how this thing's going to wrap up, because Side Creek is playing both Memorial and Stratford at home this time, at their homes, right?
No, they play Stratford on the road on Valentine's Day.
I know. I said at Stratford's home. They are on the road.
Yeah, they on the road. They play Memorial at home.
Memorial at home, but Stratford on the road.
Yes.
Okay,
to finish district. To finish district in the last 2 district games.
Right. So that can get interesting as well.
So let me ask you a question real quick.
Cougars. Yeah.
So if I was having this conversation with somebody. So if Side Creek undefeated before they get to that last week, right, and say they already got the district championship locked up, do you kind of rest your starters to get them ready for the playoffs, because you know there's going to be 2 tough games because you're going to get district anyway, or do you play them normally and then go right into, like, have 2 tough games and then go right into playoffs too? What would you do?
You play them. I will play them. This ain't no load, man. We not the NBA. We not low.
I'm just asking.
I know. I'm okay. Me as a coach, I'm not doing no type of load management. I'm going to play you because these can be really 2 good momentum games going into the playoffs. And so, if these are our 2 toughest opponents in district, then we just had that back to back, and in the playoffs, right after that, I need that momentum to carry. We done play tough, and then it's going to be tough again because it's playoffs. So playoffs, you never know. Anybody could win.
They will play the 4th seed in the HISD district, Mr.
Yeah, we gonna. This is the bracketology, Mr. Little. We're gonna get to all that. But yeah, I don't want to exactly Coach Aviles, Mr. Aviles, Coach Aviles. I do not want to take them out of rhythm by changing up anything. We're gonna get busy so we can be ready for the playoffs, because playoffs is hard. So I can't rest you on the hard games, and then we about to turn around and play another hard game. Really interesting though. So if Cy-Fair wins, them and Jersey Village will split, and if they tie, they will have to. They'll do just like we mentioned earlier because they play the last game a district. Then they'll have to turn around and do a
Oh,
playing game
you're
for
playing
that
game.
last spot.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that can become a really interesting race within itself. I don't want to count Springwoods totally out of that final spot either. Like I said, it's going to be interesting to see what truly happens. I mentioned it earlier before you was on. There's always a sixth place team from the first half of district who finds their way into that top four. Moving right along, District 18. This is the HISD district for 6A. You have Bel Air sitting at number 1, Heights at number 2, Westbury at number 3, Lamar at number 4. I think this district stays the same. I think Lamar beats Westbury the second time around, and they're just going to do coin flip. So they'll coin flip for third and fourth place if they split and end up with the same record at the end. But I feel it's the same four that's in as of right now will be the same four that finish. What about you, Rob?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be these four. We definitely know they not gonna play a playing game at HISD, so this will be a coin flip between. I mean, they just not.
No,
They
no,
just,
I know. That's why I'm laughing.
yeah, they just not. It'll be a coin flip. Um, you don't want to get fourth place in this district. But yeah, and good job by Coach Barreras too. I don't think anybody's seen them sitting there 5-1 with a victory over Bel Air. I think they got a victory over Bel Air already.
No,
No, they got a
no,
victory over Lamar.
Lamar and Westbury.
Yeah, they lost. I was at the Bel Air Heights game. They lost to Bel Air. Okay, yeah, they got Lamar and Westbury. Yeah, so for them to be sitting at 5-1, that's a testament to his coaching, man. Coach Maxey too. Coach Maxey too, winning with a lot. Go
Why
ahead.
this one turned out like this? No, you good. This one turned out different than everybody else. Okay. District 19. Don't know why I did that. Hey, sometimes computers had a mind their own, I guess. District 19, 6A. You got Seven Lakes
What
sitting
school
in
you
first
talking about?
place, undefeated. No, you see how it got white behind their names? Look, it's all look, it's supposed to be all one color, right? See
Oh,
that?
hey, you put wet side instead of west side.
it will be you who catches it.
No, that was Quita. That was Quita
Oh,
that said that.
I should have known. I should have known. Oh no, but man, I hope that's 2 turnovers. All right, two
It's two.
turnovers.
It's two.
That's 2. That's all right. Seven Lakes sitting undefeated in district number 1 right now. You got Katie Jordan, second place in district. They just lost to Pato this past Wednesday. So these races can get really interesting here coming up. Katie Taylor just dropped the game to Tompkins on Saturday. And so Tompkins sitting at the 4th spot as of right now. You have Cinco Ranch who's still lingering around right there. Pato 4 and 5, May Creek at 3 and 7. Can May Creek make that push this second go round? Beat some of these teams, find a way to get into the 4th spot of the playoffs. Can Pato continue their ways also knocking some of these teams off? I think this race is about to get really interesting between these teams. Taylor, Tompkins, Cinco, possibly a Pato, possibly a May Creek. Rob, what you got, man?
Yeah, the 3 and 4 is gonna be between them 5 teams. I think May Creek still got a chance because they played, I think 1 or 2 games, but they played everybody tough the first go
Yeah,
around.
yeah,
It was like an 8-8, like no more than a 9-point game.
All right, yeah,
They
it
wasn't
wasn't. Yeah,
everybody close.
yeah.
Um, I think Taylor just dropped the game to
Yep, to
Tompkins yesterday.
Tompkins. Yep.
So yeah, the three through the 3 and 4 spot is kind of open. Mr. Coach Wood say Cinco and Tompkins played each other the last game of the season on the 14th.
Yeah. Yep, they do. So that could be interesting. Tompkins won the first time around. So another interesting situation to where they messing around and tie for that final spot, or even if it's Taylor beat Cinco the first time around. If Cinco beats them and they tie for that final spot,
Yeah,
you got playing game. So
because even like Taylor only lost to Jordan by like 2 in overtime when they
yep, went
played.
to overtime. Yep. Jordan lost by 2. Um, they had some controversy. This is last game against Tompkins, but Tompkins was able to come out with the victory.
Yeah,
Um, so we're not making excuses. It is what it is.
it is what it is.
Um, so it's gonna be really interesting. Moving on, District 20, 6A. You have Hightower, undefeated district number 1. Travis, they just dropped the game to Elkins, but they're still number 2. You have Elkins and Bush, 6 and 4. Elkins owns the tiebreaker as of right now. Um, and they're both sitting at 6 and 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. You got Clements. That's why I put that Clements Travis game as a top game of the week, because Clements is trying to climb back into this thing.
They climbing.
That's going to be a really interesting game, knowing the implications that, hey, we can't afford to drop no more games, really, honestly, if we really trying to make this playoff push.
Yeah.
We seen Fort Bend Austin also beat Elkins earlier this week, too. So this is going to be interesting to see if Clements can somehow figure out a way to get into this top 4 to make the playoffs. A lot of games are going to be really big in this district.
Ooh, this district spicy.
Yeah. So this is gonna. It's about. It's. Hey, I keep saying things are getting really interesting, man. Um, we have 4 weeks left of basketball before the playoffs. Like, things is about to get really tight, man. Rob, you got anything else?
Man, man. I don't even like. Dang, I'll be sad to see any one of them teams. Elkins, Bush, Clemens,
Hey,
Reed.
man, everybody can't go.
Everybody can't go, man. Dang, it's a quality district this year, man. This is a quality. This is ooh. Like even George Ranch beat Ridgepoint the other day. Like
They did.
you're right, Coach Dean. You're right. If you wanted them dudes, you got to get your team into the playoffs. You're right.
So no takes, no.
I don't
It's hard,
know, man. I don't know.
yeah,
It's
hard to
hard.
say.
Hard to
It
say.
is. It is hard to say. We did say that Bush was the dark horse
Did
um at the during all the preseason stuff. And
did.
so and you see it, they're sitting 11-11 overall, but 6 and 4 in district. Um Playing those tough non-district games, they matter. Look, they just matter. They do. Um they matter. 21-6A. You got Beaumont United sitting at number 1. Tascasita at number 2, Westbrook at number 3. You have Summer Creek at number 4, and then North Shore at number 5, and Sea King at number district, where it can get really interesting with this 4th, 5th, and 6th spot with this race. United is on a roll. Yes, they're it's hard to say how this district is going to end up being. But it's going to be fun. Rob, what you got, man?
Man, I don't know. It's another one of them hard districts, man. Cause like Seed King beat Summer Creek the first time, but then they just dropped to North Shore the other day. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I don't know. We said in the preseason though, like this is gonna be a tough district. That we might have a 20-win team that don't make it. It don't look like that. Because even if North Shore probably got to go undefeated to get 20 more wins, well, they probably still can't get 20 more wins. But this district been beating up on each other too, though. They've been
It
beating up on
is
each other too. Sea
another.
King got the hardest first half of district though, because they gotta play United, Atascocita, Westbrook, and Summer Creek.
Yeah. Yeah, Wesley Yates high school record is crazy. You're probably right. Woods, it probably is 103 overall. Like,
Is it better than Kendrick Davis' record?
how many losses he have?
10.
Oh yeah, he don't have 10 losses.
Damn, he don't have 10 losses?
No.
Because
You
that
gotta think
freshman year
back.
with
You gotta
Casey
think back to
Harrison,
back state. I will have to look, but I don't think so.
hold
Because
on,
you
I'm
got
feeling
that
back.
back to back state run.
They ain't even lose that many games with Casey Harrison his senior year either though.
No, yeah, no, they didn't.
They didn't lose that
And
many.
and Yates got rings to and 2 rings.
All right, I don't want to get into that. But yeah, he do.
So that don't matter.
No
We
that
so I was talking about that earlier. So you could be really good regular season, but your merit kind of stands on what you do when it when the games matter and playoffs and state championships are what matter. More so than what you do in district and non district.
3, 6, 7. He got 7 losses.
Okay, 7 losses.
33, 31, because that's 64. 107. Then this year he is
23-1.
oh he 123-7 right now
Sheesh.
with 2 state championships. That's retarded.
It is, man. District 22. That's a tough feat, though. District 22. You got South Houston.
122. My
Yeah,
bad.
that's
Go ahead.
crazy.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
I know that's crazy. South Houston, number 1. Deer Park at number 2. South Houston owns a tiebreaker over Deer Park. South Houston only lost came to Pasadena Memorial. Deer Park lost was to South Houston. You have Dobie at number 3. Dobie just beat Pasadena, who was at the 4th spot. So Dobie takes that 4th spot from Pasadena because they own the tiebreaker as of right now. They're 1 game up on Pasadena. Both teams are tied at 3-3 in district play. Another district where these things can get interesting. Last year, remember, this district had its own playoff before the playoffs because you had team for the 4th place. You had everybody tied. You had 4th, fifth, sixth, and seventh all had the same record, and they all split with one another. This year, it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. I said it earlier. Shout out to Coach Watson as well. Doing really good work
Yeah,
with, a group of young men where they don't have no certified Division 1 player uh, on roster, um, or anyone who is even thought of or considered to be that, or even considered to be a Division 2, a scholarship. I'll just say scholarship type player on their roster. But they're getting things done. Also, Deer Park as well. I don't think nobody expected them to be as competitive as they have been. They have played some really solid non-district games also, and have competed in those games. So it's going to be interesting to see because they get District 21 for the playoffs. We're going to get there in a second. Rob, you got any takeaways in this district? I'm about to
no, I
go
love
look at
this
the
district.
comments.
I love this district. It's the same as it is, but yeah, I like this district. But yeah, they do get tough first round matchup. Hey, G, I want to say one more thing, man. I just looked it up too. Wesley Yates only lost to 4 Greater Houston teams his whole career,
Hey,
and 2 of them was freshman year to the same team. They lost to that Javon Jackson team in the tournament and in the playoffs in the third round. They lost
mm,
to Sirens last year, and they lost to Booker T this year, and that's it. That out of 7 losses, 4 of them is to Greater Houston teams.
hey, man, that's what's up.
That's legendary. That's
It is.
legendary.
District 23-6A. Dawson sitting at number 1. A Leaf Taylor 5-2 in district. I don't think nobody's seen them
No,
coming or being where they are right now. They still a game over Strake. 2 losses is coming to Dawson and Shadow Creek.
Straight
Really
Straight don't
interesting.
have Straight don't have the tiebreaker over Shadow Creek.
Yeah, because Strake beat Shadow Creek.
Yeah.
But so they all 3 of these, they're all tied right now. Taylor,
Okay.
Shadow Creek, and Strake, they're all tied 5-2 because everybody owns a tiebreaker over the other. And so it's going to come down to this second round of district play um, to see where everybody ends up. Do you think it stays, or do you think maybe Pearland figures out a way to sneak in this thing?
Nah, I think it stay the same. I think the standings might change because like Shadow Creek got to play straight Jesuit the last game of the season too.
Yep.
But I I like these 4. What's the biggest surprise though? I know I'm throwing stuff out here. What's the biggest surprise? A-Leaf Taylor or MacArthur? Or are they both 2 of the biggest ones?
No, I would say MacArthur is more the bigger surprise for me. I know that they've had some of those kids been playing varsity since freshman at MacArthur though.
Yeah,
So that kind of that not kind of that does help a lot
it does
when
help.
you've been
Yeah.
playing 4 years on one level um, against some solid competition. But I
Nah,
think
would
MacArthur is the bigger surprise over Taylor, um, just because even like I've kind of looked at some of Taylor's non-district games. They haven't been the best, but
yeah,
MacArthur has played a tougher schedule, and they haven't gotten blown out. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
it's not like they non-district. They're getting beat by like 20 every time in a non-district game. Um,
yeah.
they've been playing solid competition and competing, and so that speaks volume in as far as their okay the game's dynamics. Thanks, Coach Dean. That speaks volume as far as their where they're sitting at in district play. I just think Taylor's that sneaking one over Strake is kind of what stands out for them. Um, but it will be interesting to see how all this plays out in the second half of district. Final district in 6A, District 24. You got Dickinson, um, undefeated in district 23-4 overall. Clear Springs at 5-2, Clear Lake at 5-2, Clear Falls at 5-2. Clear Spring has the number 2 spot as of right now because they beat both Clear Falls and Clear Lake. And then Clear Falls should be above. That's my typo. Should be above Clear Lakes because they own the tiebreaker over Clear Lake. I think these 4 stay. That's in. I don't know how the order is going to stay though. I think Dickinson still ends up winning district, but I don't know how this 2nd through 4th plays out in this district. It's going to be really interesting to see. Rob, you got anything?
I like these 4 to stay. I don't know. Clear Falls coming up with a big game against Dickinson coming up.
Yeah.
But yeah, Clear Springs 5 killer every time we put somebody and be popping them. I like these 4 to make it though. Shout out to Clear Lake, the battle back after a slow start. They battle back.
Yep. And so that is our playoff push of the bracketology. Before we let y'all go, no, we ain't showing that shirt. Before we let y'all go, we wouldn't be the Shot Clock 30 if we didn't hit y'all with the early playoff outlook. Hey. So here we go. This is Region 2. We're going to hit y'all with Region 2 first.
Oh, that's tough.
6A. Region 2. Let me take that logo down real quick out the corner. Bam. We'll take the logo down. All right, so we're going to hit y'all with...
Hey, this is tough.
We're going to hit y'all with this early playoff look. This is Region 2. So if the district was to end today, where the standings are today, these are the playoff matchups. Langham Creek at Klein. The Woodlands versus Nimitz. Klein Collins versus Side Woods. Davis versus College Park. This is just the first little quadrant. Rob, I know it's early.
Yeah.
But if this was the playoffs today, who do you like coming out of this quadrant to go to regionals up in Dallas?
Out of this quadrant right here?
Yeah, you can only pick one.
Sheesh.
You ain't got to say who you like, man, but just talk about how some of these games, how interesting some of these games may be.
Hey, that Davis College Park game would be so interesting because I would love to see how they defended Fikes because they are one of the only teams in this region that got an actual matchup for him, multiple matchups. That game, that Woodlands Nimitz game would be so interesting. Even the Langham Creek Klein game would be interesting to see if they could speed up Klein and play that run and gun style they like to play like ooh. But I mean I ain't gonna punk away from it though. If I had to pick one team to make it out this quadrant, I'd probably say College Park.
Okay.
College Park.
I like all these. I think all these matchups are solid.
No. You picking though.
But watch how I'm gonna do it. So I say Langham Creek's beat Klein, but I think that game will be
one team. You
said hold on. I'm gonna get to my one team. Can you let me work? Watch me work.
Oh, don't steal my stuff, dog.
Watch me work.
Go ahead,
all right.
man. Go ahead.
So Langham Creek beats Klein.
I agree.
Think that'll be like an 8-point game. Um, it'll be both games, both teams, the contrasting style. That'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Woodlands Nimitz. Um, Nimitz takes that game over to Woodlands. So that sets up Nimitz versus Langham Creek.
Mm-hmm.
That will be an interesting game. I would like to
Mm-hmm.
see that game. But I think that Langham Creek, on the hot roll that they're on right now, will take that game over Nimitz. Then you have Klein Collins and Cy Woods. I'm picking Cy Woods over Klein Collins.
I agree with you on that one.
Cy Woods is the scary team to me in this group.
Yes, they are.
I'm picking them over Klein Collins. Then I'm taking College Park over Davis in that game. I think it's going to be like a 2-point game, though. It's going to come down to like final buzzer type shot. Really interested to see Martez James versus Fikes. Both are very similar, similar bodies, similar playing style. Be really interesting, really fun game to watch. Then that leaves me with Cy Woods versus College Park. I think College Park takes it over Cy Woods. And then Langham Creek versus College Park. And I'm going with Langham Creek to come out of this quadrant.
Okay. Man, shout out to Langham Creek, man. Michael Gilliard and the rest of those guys, man. They've been over there battling, man. Battling through adversity, getting some big wins.
Kind of like a high tower in a sense of don't have no big time name kids.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Tyrus.
Yeah.
But even he's not your main leader every single game. So it's hard to scout a team when there's always a different player who can go for 15 points in the game.
And that's crazy. They actually played each other this year, and that was a good game too.
They did.
Yeah.
Still in Region 2. This is the other quadrant of Region 2.
Woo!
You got MacArthur versus Conroe. Klein Oaks versus Side Springs. Grand Oaks versus Westfield. Cy Falls versus Tomball Memorial.
Jeez Louise. Let's see. I seen MacArthur a little bit. I seen Conroe a little bit.
MacArthur over Conroe.
Okay.
For me. I can't say for you.
I probably would lean towards MacArthur over Conroe in that game. I would take Side Springs over Klein Oaks.
Yep.
I would take.
I'm going with Grand Oaks over Westfield.
I would take Westfield. I like Westfield's guards in the playoffs. And I will take this is a tough one for me.
Yeah,
this is hey, if this game happened in the first round, I'm going. I don't care what other game it is. If this game happened,
don't say you ain't seen all the possible matchups. So
man, this game, that game right there, like a third round game. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna take South Falls because of JoJo, but it ain't gonna be easy.
Yeah, to me that's an interesting game too. But I'm running with South Falls. I'm gonna say it's 3-point game. I think that score will be something like a 45-42.
Yeah.
Game.
That game definitely ain't getting in the 60s.
So that gives me MacArthur versus Side Springs, and for me, Grand Oaks versus Cy Falls. I think Cy Falls would be just a little too much for Grand Oaks. And so I move Cy Falls on, and then I'm going to take MacArthur over Side Springs.
I'll take Side Springs over MacArthur, and I'll take Cy Falls over Westfield.
Okay, so then for me, that matches up Cy Falls versus MacArthur, and I'm rolling with Cy Falls to make it out this quadrant to go to Dallas.
And then I have South Springs playing South Falls for the third time this year. No, that'll be the fourth time this year.
Fourth time, yeah.
Because they played each other in the Cypress tournament, and I'll take South Falls to make it to Dallas.
All right. Region 3-6A. You got Hightower versus Tompkins, Memorial versus Westbury, Seven Lakes versus Bush, Heights versus Stratford. Tough, 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 tough,
Woo!
tough game. I can't pick. I was looking at this one longest. But
Okay,
this one is a hard one for me.
I'm gonna do the. I ain't gonna say the easy ones, but the ones I'll take Memorial over Westbury in a. But it's a who can get their styles off because Westbury running gun, Memorial is rugged, slow it down. Um, I take Stratford over Heights only because I don't think the Heights got a matchup for Keanu Dawes at all.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be interesting to see how Coach Barrera's defensive scheme will be against them because he does very well of scheming players out the game. But I think that Keanu's size just gonna be too much for them. Seven Lakes and Bush, that is a scary game for Seven Lakes in the first round. I think Seven Lakes gets past Bush because of all the styles and preparation that they have had throughout the year, but that won't be an easy game for them. Hightower and Tompkins,
You know, Tompkins likes to play really fast.
I know they like to sub in a lot. I just think that Hightower, I've heard them talk in the locker room. I think they just have an inner belief in themselves.
Dang, you been in the locker room, man?
Definitely was in the locker room.
Dang, man, that's messed up.
Why you got to be Rob C in the gym, man? You get all the exclusives. But no, I would give the matchup to Hightower. I just think they got an inner belief in themselves this year. I think Coach Woods got them on a high, man. He must have been showing them better basketball videos or something. I think Hightower pulls out a tough one against Tompkins in the first round.
Okay. So you got basically Hightower versus Seven Lakes to see who goes to regionals at the Campbell Center.
Let me see. Memorial. Yeah.
That's what I got.
Yeah, I got Hightower say. Yeah, I think Seven Lakes will beat Stratford again in a rematch. And
Yep.
I
from
think
Texas
Hightower
Jamboree.
I think Hightower will squeak past Memorial, even though that'll be a tough game for them. Memorial is very underrated. They make you play, they dictate style of play to you. But that goes back to what we were saying. Hightower has seen games like this, so that won't scare them. That won't freeze them out. Like they haven't just been playing run and gun this whole season. So I think that with seeing those styles early, that's gonna help them win that game. But yeah, I got Seven Lakes versus Hightower to go to regionals.
Interesting. Oh, wrong button. Because the winner of that, whoever wins that to go to regional plays the winner of this in regionals.
Oh, hey man, it's a tough first. Ooh, Dickinson and Strake in the first round. Dawson Clear Falls, Deer Park Westbrook in the first round. Even the Tuscaloosa, man. Ooh, I don't know, man. I don't know.
What you always say, Region 3 is the what?
Region 3, the best region in the whole state, man. It's the state
Whole
tournament
state.
before the state tournament.
It's tough.
Sheesh.
It's tough to pick. But yeah, whoever wins this quadrant faces whoever wins this quadrant.
So you can have Dawson. I'm just saying this ain't no slight to nobody. You can have a Dawson versus Seven Lakes in the first regional.
In the regional game, first round of regionals. Yep, so whoever comes out of here plays whoever comes out of here.
Who you got in this quadrant?
I got Dawson out of this quadrant.
Dawson versus who though?
I don't know who I got out of here. But
No,
I
I'm
got
saying
Dawson.
like on the other, who you picking Dawson to play in the third round?
Oh, Dickinson.
Dickinson.
in a
Hey,
rematch.
that Dickinson straight game will be live though.
It is. I think that'll be a really good game. I think it'll be close. And then I think Dickinson plays Atascocita in the second round. I think that'll be a close game as well. And then I just really want to see the rematch of the Dickinson Dawson game
From the Vipe tournament.
from Vipe tournament. Yeah.
Mm. You think
But
Westbrook
Dawson,
gives
but even the
a
Dawson versus Westbrook game is interesting.
You think Westbrook gives them a dog fight in that game?
I do. I think Westbrook puts up a pretty good fight in that game.
I'm scared for the next one.
Yeah, Mr. Little Man. That's what we be saying, man.
Mr.
It be
Little say,
tough.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
This one ain't that. Oh, hold on. So if, okay. So if so Beaumont United in the next quadrant. So whoever win it, see, like this is, I think it's gonna be.
I got Side Creek coming out of the quadrant.
I do got Side Creek coming out the quadrant. I'm trying to figure out who would play them though.
I got Side Creek versus Jordan.
Versus, you think Jordan get? Well,
Yeah.
that I mean, either it'll be if even because Side Creek done play Jordan this year. They play Elkins this year. I don't know, man. Jordan young, but they talented though.
Well, they got senior leadership. You got
They do. Messiah
you got
Shams, Messiah Herrera, I'm sorry, and
you got
Sean
Messiahs.
Trevor
You got
Moore,
the two bigs. Yeah.
Tyler France. Yep. I just I
6A is new to them. So
I'm
this is
gonna
their
go
first
with
year. First year at the 6A program. First year playing 6A playoff.
yes.
So I did not take that into consideration, but thank you for helping me, Rob.
You're welcome. That's what I do. That's why I stay in the gym to help you. I'm gonna go with Bel Air and Side Creek because going to Mr. Who said that earlier? Somebody. Oh, Coach Dean said if you a dude, you're supposed to win the playoffs. So Bel Air's supposed to have a dude. So I don't think they can get by Side Creek, but I think they should make it to the third round. That's just me. But I got Side Creek coming out this quadrant though. Sheesh, this quadrant is loaded.
Final 6A quadrant. I got United coming out the quadrant.
Yeah, I do too. Summer Creek, South Houston gonna be an interesting game though.
I think that's gonna be a good game too.
That would be an interesting game.
But I got Summer Creek versus United for the third time to see who goes to regionals. But I think United gets the W.
And who would they play at regionals? That if they did they
Side
play
Creek.
that Creek? Oh boy.
But I even like the Clear Spring Shadow Creek matchup too.
I do too. Herb said Bel Air has a chance to get out the regions. Henderson can be unstoppable when he plays more as a forward as opposed to a guard.
I agree with you on that. But who's gonna play that
definitely-
guard?
That's definitely a fact, but they don't have no.
You have a guard who's out for the rest of the season.
Yeah. So he kind of got to play that guard spot by default almost.
Yeah. But hey, none of this is set in stone. This is just if
So that would
playoffs
be
started today. Only
Dawson versus Seven Lakes, and then Side
High
Creek
Creek
and
and
Beaumont
Beaumont
United.
United at regionals at the Campbell Center.
I'm gonna be front row, baby. Not being a fan, being very impartial, and writing my reports, which can be seen on bsascouting.com.
But no, really interesting. Anybody you don't know, but that's just if the playoffs started today, right now. So we like to do that. That's our bracketology version of the UIL, and so we'll be doing that this week, going until we actually get to the playoffs. Just giving y'all some early looks, previews. Next week we will be doing 5A and 4A as well, and so we'll speed up our process a little bit. That way we're not holding everybody too late or too long. Yeah, Coleman's out for the year. Yeah, Coleman's out for the season, so they don't have Coleman right now. So, but yeah, like always, we appreciate everybody. One more time before we go, top 5 plays. Then we out. Make sure y'all pay it forward to somebody. Be nice, be kind. Take care of somebody's bill. Starbucks, Whataburger, wherever you go. Pay it forward to somebody, man. Top 5 plays. Then the outro. We'll catch y'all next time.